Hello all, welcome to part 4 of Hybrid TestNG Framework using Page Object Model and Page Factory training series. In this session, I am going to continue removing the hard coding data from the individual test. Okay, I'm going to remove the hard coding data. In the previous session itself, we started removing the hard coded data, but we have partially removed. But in this session, we are going to completely remove the hard coded data from the individual tests. Okay, so earlier in the previous session, I have created this config.properties where the high level project level hard-coded data is moved to a centralized place. Okay. Now this base and this classes will refer to this config.properties. Okay. If any of the if a URL changes or browser name changes or any email or password changes, we don't have to touch any of this base or login register such kind of tests. Okay. Rather, we can directly go to config.properties and we have to update the URL. And all these classes will refer to this config.properties and get the data from there, get the updated data from there. Okay, it's like a centralized repository for storing the data of all these particular tests, and all these tests and classes will refer the data from this single location, single centralized repo known as config.properties. But now there's a lot of other data which is still hard coded in this individual test. If I go to this base.java, everything is removed already. Okay, we have removed everything, guys. So here you see we have removed everything. The URL is also not hard coded. Implicit wait is not hard coded. Implicit wait is now provided in the utilities. Implicit wait time and page load time is also provided under utilities as explained yesterday in the previous session. Now, if I go to the login.java, if I come from the first line onwards, if I keep on checking, okay, so here browser name is removed hard coding. We have removed the hard coding of the browser name, and this prop.get property will get the browser name from the properties file. Okay, so like that we have designed. Now keep on going down, and here if you see, here valid email is coming from the config.properties file, valid password is coming from config.properties file, and here, yeah, that's it. Displayed. Okay, fine. Next, there is no hard-coded data so far. If you see here, this is a dynamically generating data, guys. So we cannot remove this. Okay, this cannot be put into a centralized place because it will change, keep on changing every time, right? It will generate the email with timestamp, so it's not in our hands. But this data 12345678890 is an invalid password that we are trying to provide here, right? There is invalid password. So such kind of data I cannot put into the config.properties file because I am already mentioned high level project level data, okay, which is common across all the multiple tests. We generally put it here in the config.properties, but this is specific to this particular test or whatever it is. So for such kind of data, what I will do is I'll create another package, guys. Okay, I'll create another package. Right click, new package, com.tutorialsninja.qa.test data. I'll say test data. In this, under this test data package, I'll create a properties file. I'll create one more properties file. I'll say test data dot property. Extension should be dot properties. Okay, dot properties. I create proper. No, there is a spelling mistake here. Let me right click, rename proper. Now it's correct. Let's open test data dot properties. Okay. Now here I'll do the stuff. Okay. So here invalid password, right? I'll provide a command here. So login test data like this. Okay. And here, this is a comment, guys. Under this comment, I'll provide all the test data, invalid password. Invalid password is equal to, what is the invalid password? This is the one. Copy this and paste it here. So how to get this data? How to read this data? How this login test method can read this invalid password from this test data.properties file. For that, again, we have to go to the base.java, guys, where in the base constructor, we have loaded only one properties file. Okay, I'll create one more properties. Okay. I'll say prop data prop is equal to new properties. Okay. Here I'll say public properties data prop otherwise data prop. Like this, I'll create one more object for this properties class. The object reference name is data properties. Okay, so now I'll say data prop dot load. I'll say load here input stream is required. So again, I'll say file input stream fis2 or something is equal to new file input stream. Now this will need file. I'll say file data prop file is equal to new file. Here system dot get property user.dar. This will get the project path till here. Where is the test data.properties file? Under this project, under src main Java, under this com tutorials Ninja QA test data, we have this properties file. So I'll give the path here. Plus double quote double backward slash src main Java com tutorials Ninja backward slash double backward slash QA test data double backward slash test data dot properties. Like this, I'll create the file. Done. I'll import. I'll copy this data properties here. File inputs to the file input stream, and here this file input stream too. I'll just forward here. Okay. Otherwise, I'll say data FIS. Data FIS. Okay. Data FIS. This data FIS I'll provide here. Okay, that's fine. Now here you are getting checked exception. Checked exception is coming here. File not found, and here IO exception is coming. Can put like this. Try catch. You can put either IO exception or you can say towable. Okay, if you don't want to worry much. E dot print stack trace. That's it. These two lines you just organize by pressing tab. That's it. Enough. So here we have prop and data prop. Okay, they will be loaded automatically, guys. Base constructor will be called, right? Automatically it will be called. You see this this particular constructor in the login, which has super. We'll call the super constructor. That is a parent class constructor, the base constructor, and base constructor will load all these two properties files automatically. Okay, in the beginning of the class itself. Now, simply it's also public, right? So what I can do here is I'll go to the test method where I need to get this data from the invalid password. Data prop dot get property. What is the property name? So this is data prop, right? Data prop dot get property. Which property? This is invalid password property. Copy this and paste it here. That's it. Okay. We have removed the hard coding of the other data also. Okay. We are putting the test data into the property, another properties file. Instead of config.properties, we are putting into another properties file. Okay. So then actual warning message is equal to get text. That's fine. Expected warning message I want to get from the properties file. Okay. This expected warning message I want to get from the properties file. Okay. So copy this part. What is this expected warning message? No match for email password warning. Email password no match. No match warning is equal to give this warning message. Copy this and come back here. And here, instead of writing this thing, just say data prop dot get prop dot get property. In that, provide that email password no matching from this here, this one. Okay, that's it. So we have the actual message, we have the expected message, and fine. That's fine. That's enough. Okay. So hard coding is removed from this test. Now let's go to the another test. Here, this we cannot do anything. Valid password is already there. There's nothing here. No match for email password is already given, right? So this one, same thing. String expected warning message. Just copy paste here, so you don't have to worry much. This one, invalid password. Okay, invalid password. So for invalid password, already we have, where is that? Data property dot get property invalid password. Okay, I'll copy this and paste it here. Instead of hard coding, we are removing the hard coding of the data from the files. Now again, the same message, copy this, paste it here. Any other place I have to make? Yeah, here also I have to paste. And this one I cannot centralize, I cannot remove. This is a blank, right? So you're not entering anything. In fact, you can remove these things, okay? In fact, you don't have to write these 2 lines. There's no need of writing because you are directly clicking on the login button. There is no need to write, okay? Those steps. You can remove those steps. You see, whenever you feel you can optimize the test, you can keep on updating, okay? So I just found that, okay, why to enter anything if there is nothing to be entered? I felt like that and I removed those steps, okay? Like that. Okay, then this login related hard coding is removed. Okay. Then, so we got 2 properties under the login test data. Okay, now here I'll write register test data. Okay. Yeah, better all here also I'll write test data like this. Okay, it will be looking good. Save all. I'll go to the register.java guys. Okay, and I'll come from the top. Nothing is there here, but here first name. Okay, copy this. Come back here. Here mention first name is equal to. Then I'll just do a lot of things and then I'll update. Then here we have the last name. Come back here, say last name is equal to done. Then we have this one, we cannot do anything. It's invalid. This is telephone number, guys. Okay, telephone number. So I'll say telephone number is equal to done. Then what else we have? Valid password, valid password. Okay. Okay, so anything else? This one, this part. Your account has been created. This is a heading, right? Heading. Okay. Account successfully created heading. Account successfully created heading is equal to give that heading. Now save this. Is there anything else I have to do for the remaining test? This is already done. Okay. All these things are done, right? If you find anything, we'll do it. This is another warning message. This part. Duplicate email warning. Okay. Duplicate email warning. Duplicate email warning is equal to that one. Then any other hard coding I have to remove. So a lot of warning messages are there here. Let's go one by one. With another warning, copy this. Privacy policy warning. Privacy policy warning is equal to. Then what else we have? Other warnings also we have. First name warning is first name warning. Then we have last name warning. This is a last name warning. Removing the hard coding is very important, guys. Okay, so it will reduce our maintenance work. Okay, whenever you have to update anything, you don't have to touch any of this test classes or base class. Directly go to the properties file, update it here. Okay, or go to the utilities and then update the values. Okay, for now. So then we have this email address warning. Email warning is equal to done. Then we have telephone warning. Telephone warning is equal to. Then we have password warning. This is password warning till here. Password warning is equal to done. So the register for now, we'll copy this first name property. I'll copy this first name property and go to the register. Here I'll say first name. Where is first name? Here is the first name. Here I'll say data prop dot get property first name. Here data prop dot get property. Here I have to provide the last name. Here data prop dot get property telephone, right? Telephone number. Copy this. Come back here. Telephone number. Now here data prop dot get property account successfully created heading. Now here the same things will be repeated. Arun Motori and first name, last name, telephone. They are same, na? I'll do one thing. First name, last name, I'll copy paste just to save time. Then we have telephone number. We have to copy paste the telephone. This is the telephone. Done. Very well. Okay, there is nothing here. And your account has been successfully created. This is the one. Yeah, the same thing. Done. Now with existing email address, verify registering account with existing email address. So first name, last name are same. Copy this. First name, last name are same. And after that, email address, telephone. Okay, email address and telephone. Email address is valid email address, right? This is valid email address. I think we have to put normal prop. Okay, where is the normal prop? I'll say prop dot get property. From the config properties, we have to get that. Okay, valid email. Give that here. That's it. Now for telephone, we already have here. Copy this line. Come back here. Telephone done. For password, already there. Input confirm also there. You're clicking on the button, doesn't require. Warning email address is already registered. Okay, here it should not be there. It's a warning message. Data prop dot get property. Give the warning. What is the warning, guys? Warning is duplicate email warning. Okay. Then after that, come back here. By clicking all the warning messages related stuff is there here. Here, remove this warning message, privacy warning, data prop dot get property, privacy warning, privacy policy warning. Done. The problem. Okay, there's one circular bracket missing. So here also, this is first name warning, data prop dot get property, and first name warning, name warning. Then here I'll remove this part, data prop dot get property, last name warning, last name warning. We're completely removing the hard coding of the data from the individual test, and we are centralizing them in this kind of properties files. So here, email warning, data prop dot get property, email warning. Then here telephone warning, data prop dot get property. Here telephone warning. Here data prop dot get property is password warning. Okay, done. We are done removing the hard coding from that individual register.java files. Then what next? Hash. Then we have search test data. Any test data is there in the search, we can get it here. Open the search.java and come from the top. Okay, browser name is already removed. And here valid product, okay, HP. I'll go to this test data and say valid product is equal to. Then what else test data is there? This is not required. Then test is displayed, fine. Here Honda, another invalid product, invalid product. Invalid product is equal to, give that invalid product here. Then there's a message coming, there's a warning message. I mean, kind of text message, you can say, not warning. This part, okay, there is no product text. No product text in search results is equal to this one. Then what else is there? There's no product, that's it. For blank, you don't have to enter. This line is not required at all. You directly have to click on the button without entering anything. So I have removed that line. Whenever I get a chance to reduce the number of lines of code, I keep on doing that. This message is same. So I think we are good. So let's start from the beginning and replace the hard-coded data with the data prop. Let's read the data from the properties files. Okay, get property. Which property this is? Valid product property. Just give valid product here. Then we have, okay, that's it. Now invalid product, this one, data prop dot get property, invalid product. This is invalid product. Do it here. Then here, this message, instead of this message, hard coding this message, data prop dot get property, provide this no product text in search results property. Same thing, you copy paste here also, this place also. Done. So it's done, guys. We have removed the hard coding of all the tests, and let's see whether the tests are running fine after moving the hard coding data to this test data.properties file. All things working fine or not? Let's see. So I'll right click. I'll open this testng.xml file. Here all the tests, register, login, and search related tests. All the 12 tests should run from individual classes. So 5 plus 4 plus 3, that is 12 tests. Right click, run as testng suite. The tests are running fine, we are good. So Chrome browser, they are running because in the config.properties, Chrome is mentioned. Second test got executed. Okay, let's see. Okay, you see, all the tests got passed. Okay, working fine. So now, is it done? No, guys, it's not done yet. Okay. So what we are going to do next is, we have not completely removed the hard coding. I'll tell you the reason. If you go to the login.java, guys, even though the test data is removed, okay, the hard coding of the test data is removed. But if you see the locators here, XPath locator, link text locator, whatever the locators are there, they are still hard coded. If they change tomorrow, if any particular element locator changes tomorrow, it will be, we have to go to each and individual test and update the locator values. Okay, this is still hard coded, guys. Okay, these locator values are still hard coded. So that I'll cover later, guys, how to remove the hard coding of these locators inside this test. I'm going to cover that later. For now, what I'm going to do is, the first test, I want to implement data-driven testing. Okay, the same framework I'm going to implement to make this particular framework a hybrid framework. Okay, it should be a combination of data-driven framework and it should use other stuff like page object model, page factory, TestNG, etc. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to convert this normal method into a data-driven test. Okay, normal test method into data-driven test. I covered all these things, data-driven testing framework, already in the previous session, hoping that you already have gone through that and came here. So you should understand easily, guys. There's nothing much here. So we are going to read the data from the data for this data-driven test from the Excel files. Okay, Excel file. I'll show you everything. Just wait. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, here first of all, I'll create a under src main Java, under this com tutorials in the QA test data, I'll create a new file. Okay, I have to create a file like Excel file is. Okay, so let me create an Excel file here. So here I'll say Excel app came, open that Excel app. So I want to create a new file, blank workbook, that's fine. I'll say file, save as. Where you want to save? I want to save in the downloads for now, so that I can copy from the downloads folder. So I'll just name this as tutorials ninja test data. Okay, tutorials ninja test data.xlsx file. Okay, so in the downloads folder, I am creating this Excel file, guys. Save this. Once the Excel file is created, rename this sheet to login sheet. Okay, because I'm getting I want to retrieve the data from the login sheet into the login test. Okay, and here I'll give something like email. Here something like, otherwise I'll give something like email. Okay, email. And here I'll say password. I want to read this email and password. Okay, and here email address, I'll give some valid email address. So multiple sets of data will be there in the data-driven framework. As you already know, data-driven testing, right? Multiple sets of data will be there. I'll be providing all those multiple sets of data. So valid sets of data I'm providing. This is one email address and password is 12345. Password is 12345. Then I'll give one more email address. And here I'll enter. And here I'll give 12345 is a valid password. And one more email address, final. Third time, 3 times the test need to run because there are 3 sets of data for this test. Okay. I'll say cap 3. Here 12345. Done. So here email and password I'll highlight, and remaining all I'll put a border. Save this. Click on. Now in the downloads folder, guys, in the downloads folder we have this Excel file created, tutorials in the test data. I'll copy this file. Right click, copy this file, and come back here and paste it here. Under the test data, I'll paste this. Okay, along with the test data properties, now we have tutorials in the test data.xlsx file also. So I have to read the data from this XLSX file. How to read the data from the XLSX file? So before reading the data from the XLSX file, we'll not touch the XLSX file for now. What I will do is, I'll convert this normal test method into a data-driven test method. So here I'll create one more method, guys, which will supply the data to this test method first. Public void supply test data. Okay, something like this. Okay, I'll just give any name, guys, no problem. Okay, supply test data, whatever the name you want to give, you just give it. Here at the rate data provider, and write import. Now here create an object array, 2-dimensional object array. Data is equal to, create a shortcut representation of the 2-dimensional object array like this. This is 2-dimensional representation of the object array. Okay, 2-dimensional array. Here I provide first 2 email address. What is first email address, guys? A Motori cap 9. This is the first email address. I'll copy this and paste it here. Comma. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, second email address I'll give, comma. Second email address is, it's 1, copy this, paste it here, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third also, I'll copy paste the same thing, the third set of data. How many sets of data you want to give? That many number of things you can internally give. Here, 3 I'll give. That's it. Now I'll say return data. Here, the return type is two-dimensional object array. Here, I'm not reading, this data is not read from the Excel file, right? This data, whatever I provided here is hard-coded, guys, okay? It's hard-coded. This data is hard-coded in this data provider method, and it's not read from the Excel file. Later, I'll show you how to read the data from the Excel file, okay? For now, I'm hard-coding the data and supplying this data to this test method. How to bridge the connection between this data provider and this test method? Here, comma, data provider attribute is equal to the name of the data provider method you have to give. Okay, this is one way. This is how you have to connect. And here you have to receive string email, comma, string password. Like this, you have to receive. Now here, instead of reading this data from the properties file, you will provide this parameter here. Here, you will provide this parameter here, password parameter here. That's it, guys. This particular test will run 3 times now. This particular test is going to run 3 times because there are 3 sets of data. If you give 4 or 5 sets of data, this particular test method will run 5 times also. Okay, 4 to 5 times also. Now let's run this and see whether this is working fine as expected or not. This data-driven testing is possible with the hard coding of the data or not. First we'll check. Later I'll show you how to read the data from the Excel file instead of hard coding like this here. Run this. Only one test I am running, the data-driven test. First set of data it has run 3 times. That same test method has to run. Second set of data, third set of data, it's going to run. Done. All the 3 tests got passed. You can see that in the results. You see, with first set of data, the same test method got run. Same test method with second set of data, same test method with third set of data. But this data is hard coded in this method. One more thing here is, here I can give something like name is equal to, okay, what is that? Valid credentials supplier. Okay. If I give a specific name, instead of method name, I can give this, okay? Instead of the method name, I can give the name of the data provider like this, okay? Now let's run this and see whether it's still working or not. If you give the name attribute, you have to give the name of the data provider, okay? Otherwise, you have to give the method name, okay? It's still working, you see? You have to improvise this, okay? Step by step, we are improvising. Third test. The third set of data. Same test with the third set of data is going to run. Done. You see, we got the same results. All the 3 tests got passed and with the different sets of data. This is fine. But only thing that I want to change now is I don't want to hard code this data. Instead, I want to read the data from this Excel file. This is the thing. I don't want to hard code the data. So how to read the data from the Excel file and then pass it to this test method from this data provider method? For that, guys, I'll go to utilities. Utilities class under utilities package. I'll create one more method. Public static void get test data. Okay, from Excel. Like this one method I'll create. Here, string sheet name. Okay, just understand the logic, guys. Okay, if you have gone through my POI API training, training videos in the same series. Okay, in the previous sessions I covered POI API thing. If you have gone through that, you can understand what I'm writing here. Okay, so here inside this method, I'm accepting the sheet name, and whatever the sheet name that is accepted, based on that, I'll retrieve the data from that Excel file. Okay, so what I will do is first I will create an object for the XSF workbook. Okay, workbook is equal to new XSF workbook. Like this, you have to create an object for the XSF workbook. Pour the mouse on the XSF workbook, and you cannot import this XSF workbook because this is from POI API. Because this project is not yet configured with the POI API. So far in the pom.xml file, which libraries we have? TestNG library we have, Selenium Java library. Only 2 libraries we have. Now we need to add the POI API libraries. For that, I'll go to the mbnrepository.com and search for POI. Search for simple POI. you'll get Apache Py, normal Py, PyOXML, PyOXML schemas. Three things you have to worry about. These three: Py, PyOXML, and PyOXML schemas. These three are enough, guys. Okay, these three are enough. You can even add Py Scratchpad and all those stuff. Okay, Py excellent. Okay, these are all can be added also, not a problem. Okay, is there anything from Apache Py? OXML Lite is there. Okay, so many things are there. So many things are there. But these three things are enough, guys. Okay, from my experience, these first three things are enough. If anything problem coming, you can add few more things also. I'll open these three things on the new tab. 1, 2, 3. I'll just go to, you see here, latest version in the normal Py is 5.2.3, whereas in this PyOXML is 5.2.3, that's fine. But in PyOXML schemas, we have the latest version as 4.1.2, which is not equal to 5.2.3. So what is the latest common version in these three tabs? That is 4.1.2, here 4.1.2, and here also 4.1.2. Even though we have the latest version, we cannot go with the latest version because in one of the things, PyOXML schemas, we have 4.12 as the last. Okay, so I'll go with the 4.1.2 only. Okay, copy this, come back here, paste it here. Here's the dependencies. Now come back here, 4.1.2, copy, paste, done. Now next one, 4.1.2, copy, paste, done, save all. Now hover the mouse on XSS workbook, you will get the import statement this time. You see, importing the XSS workbook from PyAPI library. Now I'll say workbook dot get sheet string name. What is the sheet name? This is a sheet name. Copy the sheet name and provide here. What are the sheet name you are passing to this method? That will be passed and the sheet name will be get. For example, if you pass the login sheet will be retrieved. Okay. So get sheet is written in the object of the XSS sheet. So I'll simply say sheet is equal to okay, the return type of this method should be added as a declaration of this sheet. For that, hover the mouse on this sheet, create local variable. When you see return type of this get sheet is automatically added here. Once you get the sheet, I want to find the number of rows and columns. Okay, in that Excel sheet, how many rows are there, how many columns are there? Okay, I want to find out. So I'll just open the Excel sheet here, and you will see that in the login sheet. Just open the Excel sheet and the login sheet. You see how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows are. How to get the number of rows? Int rows is equal to sheet dot get last row number. There's a predefined method known as get last row number in this XSF sheet class. Okay, this will get the number of rows. How to get the number of columns? Number of columns is equal to sheet dot any row you get row of. Just give any row. Here there are 4 rows. 0th row, index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. I'll just give index 0. Any of the row, even you can give index 1 also, but I'll just stick to get row of 0. Get last. For getting the number of columns, get last cell number. What is cell number? 1, 2. So get last cell number is 2. So 2 will come here. Number of columns we got. Now I'll create a 2-dimensional object array. This method when you call, it will return you a 2-dimensional object array. Object array, 2-dimensional object array. Data is equal to new 2-dimensional object array. Like this, put a semicolon. Here, copy the rows and paste it here. Copy the columns and paste it here. That's it. Now write down for int I is equal to 0, I less than rows I plus plus. Okay. Like this, I'll write the code. Now here I'll write sheet dot get row of I plus 1. Okay. Just remember this, guys. You should not write I plus 1 you have to write. Otherwise, you will get an error. Okay. Get row, it is returning XSF row. To read the data from the Excel file, this is the logic you have to implement. Hover the mouse, create local variable. Okay, done. Because we have to read the data from this row onwards. Okay, 0 plus 1, first 1. This data, 3 sets of data we have to read. That's why we have written I plus 1. If you don't give I plus 1, it will read email. That is not a email, right? That we want. So we have to only read the actual data. That is starting from the row 1. the row 0, row 1. Okay, row index 1. So that's why I place 1. Okay. Now for int j is equal to 0, j less than columns, then j plus plus. Now I'll write down row dot get cell. Okay, get cell I'll say. In this particular row, I'll retrieve the cells, get cell, it will return the excess of cell. Cell is equal to, over the mouse, create, done. We got the cell. Now, these cell values are different types. You see, here, this is string type, whereas this is numerical type. So what I will do is I want to find the type of the cells. Cell dot get cell type. Cell dot get cell type. It will return you the cell type. Cell type is equal to, over the mouse, create local variable. Now I'll write down one switch case. Okay, switch case. Cell type I will pass. This particular cell type I will pass. And here I'll write the cases. Case. If it is string type, okay, if the cell type is string type, then I'll say I'll assign the okay, I'll retrieve the data from the Excel file and assign it to the this object array, two-dimensional object array. For that, data of I comma ij, okay, is equal to here I will say cell dot get string cell value. Okay, if it is string type, directly you have to use this method, get string cell value. If the cell type is string, then get string cell value will be used. Now say break. Now another case, if it is numeric, if it is numeric, the data stored in the cells is numeric like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in that case, data of I j is equal to cell dot get get numeric cell value. But there is a problem, guys. When you retrieve this get numeric cell value, here instead of integer value, you will get double value 12345.00 will come. 12345.00 will come. That's not the correct password, right? The password is only 12345. So we have to typecast that with int, okay? Typecast that with int. And now, before you assign this value to this data of ij, you have to convert that into the string. How to convert that into string? Integer dot to string of, you just surround this all inside this circular brackets. Okay, it will the first we have to convert to integer 1234 5.00 to 12345. That 12345 we have to convert to string and assign it to data of ij. Now say break. Okay, now say break. Now case, third case, this is not required for now in our test data, but if you have a boolean value or something, in that case, okay, it will be useful. I'm just writing just for the sake. Data of I, in the sample test data I'm using, we don't have any boolean value, but we have to write this. Okay, cell dot get boolean cell value. Okay, and then break. This is a switch case we have to write, guys. This is a switch case we have to write. So switch is done. We have assigned the data. Now there's one more thing, guys. We forgot to do one thing. So where we have referred this Excel file, in this XSF workbook, we created an object, but did we refer the Excel file? No, we didn't refer the Excel file. How to refer the Excel file? You see here, I have to provide input stream. Okay, file input stream. Okay, FIS Excel is equal to new file input stream. Like this, you have to create an object for the file input stream. Import this file input stream from java.io package. Here you have to provide the file, that is Excel file path. File Excel file is equal to new file of, and here provide the path system dot get property, not properties, property, guys, dot get property user dot dir, user dot dir. This will get the path of the project. Under the path of the project, where is the Excel file? Here. Okay, so double quotes, double backward slash src, double backward slash main, double backward slash java, double backward slash com dot com, double backward slash tutorials ninja, double backward slash qa, double backward slash test data, double backward slash tutorials ninja test data. Make sure that you don't have any spelling mistakes. LSX file. Okay, that's it. Put a semicolon at the end. That's it. Now import this file from java.io package and copy this Excel file into this file import stream. Copy this file FIS Excel into this workbook. Now it will read the data. These two lines are giving some checked exceptions, guys. Okay, checked exceptions are coming. So I'll surround these two lines in the try catch block. Try catch throwable e. Then write e dot print. That's it. Tab. Okay. Now here, this is local. Just make it global so that you'll not get the error here, and remove the double declaration here. Now still error is coming. We have to initialize the value. It will be gone. So any other errors are there? I think the errors are gone. Okay, so we have provided the path of the Excel file here, and we have represented with the help of the XSF workbook here. Okay, and now we are getting the sheet with the help of the sheet name that is passed here, and from that sheet we are getting the number of rows, columns, and we have iterated and assigned the data based on the cell type. Okay, and now this particular method has to return the data. So here I'll say return data. Okay, this two-dimensional object array I have to return. The return type should be the return type should be here, instead of void it should be two-dimensional object array. That's it. Okay, simply call this method, guys. Don't hard code the data in the login.java. Just come here and call this method and give the name, that is login. Okay, what's the problem here? So in order to call this method, it's static method, guys. It is a static method. We have to call this method with the help of the class name utilities dot get test data from Excel. Okay, simply do one thing here. Write down utilities dot get test data from Excel and pass the sheet name as login. See, everything is so sophisticated that you see now you are not hard coding the data, and the data will be read from the Excel file and will be passed to this, and this particular data provider will pass into the test method. Okay, now let's run this code and see whether this part is working or not. Slowly we are increasing the complexity of the framework. We have implemented data-driven framework inside this current framework now. As part of this, let's see whether we are getting the data from the Excel file. You see, things are working fine. Second test data should be get from the Excel file. From the Excel file, we are reading this test data, guys, data-driven test data. Okay. Done. So 3 tests got executed with 3 sets of data. And this time the data is not hard-coded in this data-driven data is not hard-coded in these test methods. Rather, it has been read from the Excel file. Okay. So great. Now the final thing, I'm just guessing that so I told you, right, I'll remove the hard coding of these locators, right? So how to remove the hard coding of the locators, I'm going to cover in the next session. Okay, in the next session I'm going to cover the removing the hard coding of the data from this hard coding of the locators from this test methods. Okay, in the next session I'll do that. So for that we need page object model design pattern. We are going to implement the page object model design pattern. That I'll cover in the next session, guys. Okay, next part of this framework series. So that's all for this session, guys. I'll update this notes. Okay, so let me quickly go to the Xmind and so moving the hard coding of test data from test methods. Okay, so using properties, creating which properties file we created, test data dot properties file, where we have created this under package known as com dot tutorials ninja dot qa dot test data package. Under this package we have created loading properties, constructor, super, everything is same. And then in every test class method, we have read the data, that's fine. Now implementing data-driven framework in existing project. Now the project will become a hybrid project because this project not only includes other part of the framework, but also data-driven plus remaining stuff. So it will become hybrid. Hybrid means it's a combination of mix of things. Okay, here, reading data from Excel files. Okay. Reading data from Excel files we have implemented. We have written the code. We have touched the utilities. Where we created a method known as get test data from Excel files method. Excel files method. Then what is the other thing we have implemented here? Okay. Just test data from the Excel file under utilities we have created. And anything else, guys? I think that's it. So this is what we have covered in this session, guys. In the next session, we are going to remove the hard coding of the locators from the test methods also. That is possible with the help of page object model and page factory design patterns that I'm going to cover in the next session. So guys, I'll update this notes. Once I stop this session, I'll update these notes. Okay. So I'm attached to the video. So you can find it there. This mind map, entire complete mind map from starting to ending, you will find in the notes. Okay. So this is nothing but the part 4, guys. So in the next session, we'll go for the part 5 of this hybrid TestNG framework using page object model and page factory series. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.